we're getting there. We're moving forward on this crazy train of bird love.
Crazy train indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
So what we're gonna do?
For once, we're going to announce who we're going with before we start the game.
Oh, we've done that before.
Yeah, but mostly we forget and we just talk about other stuff for like 10 minutes, and then we're like, by the way, we're romancing this and that.
Well, we're gonna go through all of them. We're gonna go through all of them.
But for tonight?
For tonight, we are going to do a redo of our very first failure. We're gonna go back to creepy, incel, shut-in, neat, introvert.
Okay, let's just put it like this. In order to see the Joker, someone needs to leave the library tonight.
Is that a reference to something?
Did you not read that stuff about, like, the US Army deploying, like, military personnel to movies to prepare for incel violence? I'm not even joking.
Oh shit! I saw the headline.
Joker.
I saw the headline that they were like, yeah, we actually think that the Joker movie is going to sort of convince incels to commit violence in the name of gamers rise up and we live in a society. Oh man, God bless America.
We truly do live in a society. Like,
God bless America.
and for once, these incels are apparently trying to join it. Yeah. So, Shell Berkvi.
Yeah.
Berkvis.
We're gonna go back to Nageki.
I, like, considering, like, we've done so much of the voice lines for Sakuya and Yuya, I completely forgot that the name is Berkvis and not Berkvi.
Berkvi.
So it's like, wait.
Shell Berkvi.
Yeah?
No goddamn Human Portraits game. We have been over this. Possibly for Oko-san, but no for everyone else.
Yeah, but we didn't know that. We should have done that for Oko-san, but...
Well, we would have seen the other people as well. It's not contained to just him.
That's true.
All right, we gotta skip all the way forward.
So what do you think Nageki likes? Nageki.
I think Nageki likes good literature and possibly not the smut manga that we tried to recommend to him the previous time.
Honestly, I think Nageki needs to lighten up and leave the whole no fap movement, because
and he's always like, I'm in the library. I wonder if I just sort of like shout into a dark corner. Yes, there he is. There he is, hiding in the dark corner in the library.
Yeah, but I meant, like, what do you think you need to study for Nageki?
Oh, is it gym class?
Nope.
Damn it. Is it math class?
Nope.
So it's actually music class.
No, it actually doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Nope.
Great. All right.
So at least that's one worry off our team, but this one does matter.
Really?
Yeah.
Library staff.
Yeah.
Library staff.
Yeah, of course. Like, in order to talk to him.
Yeah, the doy. But then, on what you do on elective days, it doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all. Gotcha.
And like this one is one. Let's see if anyone has less choices. I think, yeah, Ryota has slightly less choices, but other than that, Nageki is the
shortest one?
Yeah. Well,
Gotcha.
as far as choices go.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we've been through this before, but I guess we should sort of like read it out again because there's going to be a couple of things different, maybe.
Oh, you're just going to torture me with the fucking accent again.
You have to do it.
No, but I don't have to do every line that we've done before.
You have to do them.
No.
The people demand your American accent.
But it's not my American accent. It's my Pan-American, full Pan-American accent.
No, this is like the ending of Nier Automata. It's like, can you hear them? All of them. They're cheering for you. They're rooting for you. They're moving you forward.
Oh, you're talking about the actual ending.
Hey, no spoilers.
But you were saying it.
Well, I'm not giving any context.
Well, I'm also not giving any context when I said the actual ending.
Well, I'm just saying.
I wasn't describing what you see on the screen when it happens.
I'm just saying, right? The children, do you hear them? Chanting for you. They're calling your name. All the 5 or so children who are watching this.
Oh God, I hope there are no children watching this. Like, please, let there not be children watching this. Otherwise, we are going to get concerned emails from their parents at some point.
Children, if you are watching this, don't tell your parents that you're watching this.
Or at least if you start talking about, like, weird pigeon sex facts or other weird facts
don't tell them where you...
Don't mention where you heard them.
Tell them that you heard it from, like, National Geographic or the History Channel. Except that, the History Channel doesn't even teach people about stuff like that anymore.
You know what? The other day, I was playing, okay, I have to admit another awful thing right now. So, yes, I am currently playing World of Warcraft Classic.
You're back. You're back in.
I haven't played World of Warcraft in a very long time, but I'm currently playing WoW Classic with my siblings. And I'm, like, just running around Stranglethorn with my sister, just questing, and, with another random dude in our group. And, like, Stranglethorn, just public chat is awful, okay? It's, like, the worst aside from the Barons, probably. And people are, like, posting the lamest jokes ever in chat. And I'm so over it. And, someone just writes, like, they're just outdoing themselves with their worst jokes. And someone writes, like, what's, like, really like big and gray and stuck to the ground or something, and then they write a fat pigeon. And it's not funny at all, and I'm so over it. And I write in our group chat, I write, that's bullshit, because pigeons are really strong flyers, like 40% of their musculature is their wing musculature and whatnot.
That is the most German thing ever.
Well, I only write it in group chat, not in the public chat. I forgot this other guy was there. I just meant to write it to my sister, right? So I wrote that, and he's like, "Oh, are you an ornithologist?" And I was like, I could admit the truth right now, or it could be like,
I have, in fact...
it's like bird enthusiast. Because it's like nobody wants to acknowledge that they looked this up for Hatoful Boyfriend.
Specifically a pigeon enthusiast?
No, but I was like, I'm going. Why not for now?
But I'm reminded of something you said before about joining World of Warcraft again, where it's like, there's, this other Let's Play channels we watch. Like, we talked about that before in the Spider-Man LP, about, like, Super Best Friends Play and stuff, how they were sort of the inspiration for us starting a channel, whatever. I just remember when Wooly talked about when he started playing, like, sort of Naruto games again and starting to watch Naruto and reading the stuff after he tapped out at some point, and we're like, you know what, this is bullshit, I don't like this anymore, I'm out. And he was out for several years and whatever, and then he crept back into it and he started reading the Narutos again, and he, like, talked to one of his old Naruto fanboy buddies and whatnot, and he just told him, like, all right, I'm back in. and his friend was like, brother, you never left.
Well, I did leave. I left World of Warcraft after Wrath of the Lich King.
Anyway.
I'm currently playing it, but it's mostly because it's so nice that I have something to play with my siblings again, okay?
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Pigeons.
Sitting here twiddling my thumbs is bad for me. I wish someone would come and ask me something.
Oh, so you're all alone in the library, and your thumbs is what you're twiddling? I don't think so.
There are these. Well, it's like graphic novels, but they're a bit older, so they don't have any pictures. They only have these squiggly lines in them, but they do describe the sex acts.
Yeah.
So I can get pictures in my head. This is a novel concept. I should, like, copyright this. I will call it reading.
What a revolutionary
There's
thought.
no birdie here. I wonder if it would be okay to close early. I wish I could just spread my legs and masturbate. That's how you do it, right?
That's too private.
Oh, okay.
Let's not go there.
There are many techniques. You can also do the squeezy leggy together thing. That's a different one.
There's also...
Uh-huh.
That's not actually me. I didn't know that this was a thing until I was an adult and I read about it on Reddit. But it's actually apparently a fairly common thing to hump pillows.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about this.
I didn't know about that until I was like 25.
Huh. I've only I've obviously seen it in the pornos. Duh.
Well, that's, yeah.
But I always thought that was just like, it's a thing for the camera, where it's like, I'm pretending I'm fucking a guy, and it's hot, and it gets me all hot and bothered. But you're saying that it actually does something for women, the act itself, or what?
No, I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea. But, like, no one really talks about masturbation, right? Like, if you're with a group of friends, you might...
This is a gender thing.
Okay, fine.
Guys talk about masturbation.
Women don't, not really.
That's weird. Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. It's that's why I'm saying I learned about it, like, mid-20s on the internet, because anonymity
beans.
on the internet,
do you flick them? Do you rub them?
If you go to like women's subreddits like troll X chromosomes or like ask women or something, they will talk about that there.
Sure.
But it's like it's somehow taboo to acknowledge that, and it's like weird to me because a lot of women I've known will discuss like their actual sex life, but it's something I don't.
I've seen that too, yeah.
Because, like, that involves,
weird.
like, another person, and at some point I think it's not okay. But it's like...
Men won't do that. Men will just share nude pictures with each other.
Okay, well, to be entirely fair, it's not something that, like... I would say it's not a majority of women that does that, but I meant, like, if something sexual is discussed, it is more... of the partner variety, but not the solo act.
Huh.
And
do you think this is like a thing that's like, do you think Sex and the City is to blame for this?
It might be.
Is that where the culture started of like, oh yeah, women sit in groups and gossip about the size of their boyfriend's dicks and stuff? Because it's like a girl power thing, right? That's how you...
I don't know. Like, honestly, the majority of women I know don't do that. It's when I said majority earlier, it's like when it is discussed, it's more like along the partner lines. And I don't think it's like if it's the kind of person that would violate their partner's trust that much, I probably would have other problems with them, right?
Yeah, obviously.
So my friends, when I talk to them, it's not that. But what you do talk about, sort of like in vague terms, is like, are you happy with your sex life?
Gotcha.
Are you satisfied in that regard? It's like checking up on each other.
See, this is interesting to me because like men do not have those conversations, at least not in my group of friends and whatnot. The whole thing about like just discussing your sex life, I think that's too private, if that's anything.
The point is,
where you sort of like, you don't wanna... It's kind of embarrassing to go into that sort of things. You don't, but you're super fine just talking about your masturbation habits and like just how many times per day you tug it and what angles and what and you know what sort of implements you use. Like that's fine, because then you're only embarrassing yourself. But when it comes to just sort of like bringing someone else in and being part of the conversation, it becomes a lot more private, and it becomes at least for me, like that puts a barrier on it where you can't talk about it the same way. You just can't.
Well, it's not about going into specifics, and I actually don't dislike that aspect of it, because it's about like making sure your friend is safe, feels safe, and that is... I'm not saying that men can't and don't have problems that way, but it is just an acknowledged thing that for women, the whole like addressing sexual topics with new partners or people they might not know too well.
You know what?
Can be
I
tricky.
see it. I see it because I can imagine that like one night stands is a different thing for men and women.
Yeah.
I think with one night stands, for women, I think it's more about sort of like the intimacy and the experience and just it's a new and exciting thing and stuff, but you don't expect to like sort of actually get off. You don't expect to get that orgasm with a new partner because I think for women, like, I'm going to say it's easier for a guy to just have a good time.
But it's not
because you can just sort of like just do the jerky motion and eventually the penis is going to do the and that's that's that.
Well, yeah, I think yeah, and I think for a woman to get off, she needs to know herself, and her partner kind of needs to know her too a bit. So this is true. But what I also meant is that you're just kind of in a more vulnerable position,
right?
In terms of giving feedback.
Where
it's like the majority of men probably won't do anything shitty to you if you're like in the middle of it and all of a sudden you're like, this isn't really doing anything for me, or can you maybe not like But if it's a one night stand, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, you
put
don't
up with
know.
it.
So you'll put up with things, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just important occasionally to just check up, like, what are you doing? You okay with it? Is everything good? And it's like, it might not even be that. It might just be about, how do I go about feedback? How do I have this kind of talk?
Yeah.
Where it's like, there is a thing, and you don't even need to go into specifics, right? But you're like, there is a thing that's happening. I'm not super into it. How do I best address this without causing hurt, causing anger, causing humiliation, but still getting somewhere we're both okay with it?
Sure.
Because addressing, like, I think you and I, the two of us, have a very good basis for communication.
But like,
that's not true for everyone, right?
No.
So it's sex. It's a touchy subject in both directions. So I think in this case, maybe men could stand to discuss that aspect a bit more, just for their own sake.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I've had the occasional sort of like the bad one night stand as well. We're like, the issue of communication, it does not have to be just an issue for the women as well. There are also like, you know, everyone has their kinks and the stuff that they do and whatnot, and you might not feel super comfortable with all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in that moment and you're sort of kind of both drunk and like, you know, it's not the time and place to just sort of like, you know, kill the mood if you so were. So even if they do some stuff that kind of is a little bit weird, you just sort of put up with it and just sort of let's just go along with this.
Yeah, you go along with it until it's over, and you're kind of happy when it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that is a female-only thing. I'm saying
I've had the instance, for example, of could you maybe not claw my back to the point where it's bleeding from several places? Because holy shit, that hurts.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And I guess that was a thing with her where she was like, she wanted to be a bit wild and stuff. And maybe I don't know if she got off on that or whatnot, but oh my God. That was like the least enjoyable thing I have ever experienced. It was like all pain. Any sort of semblance of pleasure was gone long time ago. It was just, okay, I just gotta work like a fucking piston hammer right now and just get, because that's how I can sort of like command my penis to do the so I can just be done with this as soon as fucking possible.
And that's what I was saying. I think it should be okay. Like, you don't have to go into specifics. You don't have to describe like genital, I don't know, like dimensions or whatever to your friends. But I think it should be okay to discuss situations like that in broad terms, just so that everyone like can maybe like exchange like experiences about it and be like, so what the fuck do you do?
I know, right?
How do you like?
What do you do if they suddenly just stick a finger up your pooper? Or a talon?
God. Ugh.
You know what? I'm gonna cut you off here, and I'm gonna say that you have been allowed to stall your American accent for way too long.
Well, I was gonna say something right now too. I think this is a pure, we're just talking episode.
Oh no, we have acknowledged this before. Like this LP has become a podcast. That's what this is now. It's a podcast with occasional silly voices.
All right.
Yeah. Speaking of occasional silly voices, it is time to enter the Nageki.